You guys know me. I absolutely love Reshade. I love Reshade so much that I have been using it for my GameCube playthroughs of Pokemon Colosseum and Carmen San Diego. So, where would I be if not recording a video for Palworld with Reshade? So, hello everybody, my name is EK, and right now you are looking at the most extreme version of my preset, and I'll talk more about what I mean by that in just a bit. But just to break down what you're seeing right now, on the left side, you are seeing the game as it normally is, with no filters enabled whatsoever on medium to high settings. On the right side of the screen, you see my personal preset, and you can clearly tell that my preset looks a lot darker, it looks a lot more realistic, but it also does look a lot more detailed. So, what do I mean by my most aggressive, most extreme preset? Well, there is a setting over here, and it is called Adaptive Tint. If I remove it, this is what it looks like. And in a lot of areas, adaptive tint being off can look better. But in some areas, especially, when you really want to create a nice amount of contrast, adaptive tint can be such a powerful setting. So you can mess around with this yourself. If you like it, you can keep it on. If you don't like it, you can keep it off. For now, I will turn it off for just a moment so I can talk about the rest of the settings. I will also go through some different areas in just a moment. And that is going to be, how I want to present the video to you. I want to try and give you as clear an idea as to, what you are looking at and what it's going to do for you. Also, don't worry. This doesn't take many of your, dear precious frames from you, because it is a very light preset. And I made it for myself because, as you may have seen in my performance video, I wasn't able to push 60 FPS on ultra settings, or epic settings as this game calls it, and I sometimes even drop under 60 on medium settings. So I wanted to find a way to make the game look better without putting even more strain on my GPU, and that is what I did with this preset. There is barely any performance difference. So I want to quickly run through the settings. So the before and after over here are just enabling, disabling the before and after thing, which, is just for presentation purposes. Obviously, you'll have this off when you're playing the game. Then the UI text detect is very important because there is some blooming going on from my blooming HDR. And if I didn't have these on, then the white text that can appear on the screen from, nameplates and stuff would also be blooming. And this text detect makes sure that the text that it is text and thus excludes it from, getting the filters applied to it. So you'll always want to have this on if you're using blooming HDR at the same time. Clarity is just a bit of sharpening, really, nothing too special. Then vibrance, just, as the name kind of says, it makes the game more vibrant, it adds a bit more color. I decided to just add a little bit because I did like to kind of contrast, well, I want to say contrast my contrast, but, I wanted to make sure that even though I'm making the game a bit more contrast heavy, I'm keeping that very cheerful and vibrant and fun look to the game. Then levels, it once again kind of just plays with the lighting. It just makes it look, once again, more contrasty. And then, of course, adaptive tint is the one that has the insane difference. And you can mess around with all these settings down here. I'm not going to talk too much about it. There's so much stuff going on down there. Not even I know exactly what is happening in this one. I know for most of the other ones sort of what's going on, but this one feels quite advanced to me. There's even, warm tint, cold tint, saturation sliders, etc. There's so much stuff down here. If you want to mess around with it, go for it. But for now, I'm not going to do that at all. So let me just disable before and after and just run around a little bit. So, if I have the entire thing active, you can see the game looks a lot better. Also, the game might look a little bit laggy right now, but obviously do keep in mind that I am running OBS to record this right now, which is going to make the game just lag a little bit more. I am sitting at roughly 40 FPS right now, but I will be sitting at, well, over 50 FPS if I'm not running OBS to try and record this game at the same time. But I wanted to show some of the designs here. So, for example, if I walk off to this Pangollet, which I think is a nice example, and I enable my before and after. No, come back to me. Come back to me. Hold on. I'm trying to show people something. So you can see, at least I think the model looks a lot more detailed. I mean, I could just summon my own guy, I guess. I'll summon my Hellsaver.
Yeah.
Hello. Come here. So you can see, if I do it like this, it looks a little bit washed out. but it looks very nice and contrasty and a lot darker. It kind of, you know, I think the left side to the right side is kind of like going from an IPS panel to an OLED panel, you know? And I'm running an IPS panel myself right now, so I can imagine this looks really... Either it looks super good on OLED, or it looks absolutely terrible on OLED. So you can see, you know, these trees as well, like the shadow under the trees. On the right side, it looks maybe even a bit too contrasty. And it all just really depends on, hey, what do you like? If you're someone who really likes the, you know, more contrasty, realistic, sharpened look, then I think the adaptive tint can be very, very powerful. But if you want your game to just, you know, look kind of similar to how it normally looks, but just a little bit better, then make sure to not apply adaptive tint. So I'm going to go and show you some different areas now, just to, you know, make sure you have a bit of an understanding as to what this does, because in some areas it can look really nice, and in some areas, unfortunately, it can look a bit worse, kind of depending on personal preference. So I want to start us off in a dungeon, because I want you guys to see what a dungeon looks like when you have these settings enabled. So in the bottom right corner, by the way, you can see a lot of bloom going on. And what happened there? Did I just get spawned on that thing? So you can see, you know, it does a very similar thing. Whoa, hello. Wait, I have a torch active. Why do I have a torch active? It actually looks much better without a torch. Hold on. Hello. Shooting feels a bit weird when you have, like, this little thing in the middle. There we go. I just want to show the people something, and you're gonna come in here and bother me? Huh? Alright. So, you can see, in my opinion at least, the right side looks a lot better than the left side. It does look a little bit more blue. That is just, you know, blooming HDR does that. Now, if I re-enable adaptive tint in here, I love this, guys. I love how this looks. This is probably my favorite look, pretty much for the entire adaptive tint thing. It looks incredible in here, don't you think? I mean, it looks a bit dark, and maybe on YouTube as well with the processing, it might look too dark. But look at how cool his wings look. And look at how cool, like, the light beam coming up from the sky looks. You know, this is kind of, in my mind, what I, you know, what I'm thinking, what I'm eventually getting an OLED monitor, what I'm going to feel like, because this looks amazing. So let me re-enable the before and after, and let's move on to a different area. All right, welcome to the next area. This is right here on the map, next to Valet. Is it Valet? I think it's Valet. So you can see once again, you know, it just makes the entire game look similar, but better. The trees look a little bit more defined. You know, you can clearly see each individual one, which otherwise kind of gets blended together. The path down here looks a lot, I don't know, like everything just looks more like sharp, cozy, realistic. Like, I have trouble describing what I'm seeing, but I just really like how it all comes together. Because on the left side, you know, if you're only playing with the graphics on the left side, then you don't realize what you're missing out on. But if you're then playing on this, like with the split screen active, like I'm looking at the right side and I'm thinking, yeah, I just only want to play with that. So we disable before and after. Also adaptive tint here does do a fair bit. Once again, it just creates this really, really nice HDR kind of look. And you could even disable blooming HDR with it, but I kind of like having the additional bit of bloom to make the lighting kind of come through the dark areas to really, really make it stand out. So this is what you get when you're playing with the settings that I'm playing on right now. And I think this is the settings, or these are the settings that I'm going to be playing on for the foreseeable future. I might change it around a little bit. I'm always, you know, changing these things around, trying to make things look as good as they possibly can. And if I have a preset that I think is even better, I will definitely come back with another video. But if you look down there, you know, this looks very, very nice and dark. But down there, you know, it looks very, very bright. And, you know, you might say, yeah, it looks a little bit too bright potentially, and you would have a bit of a point there. But I really like the idea of, you know, walking in a dark area, looking to my left and seeing this really bright area like pop up through the trees, and it just makes the world feel so much more immersive. So once again, you know, enable before and after. The left side is what you would normally see, and the difference between the darker areas and the brighter areas on the left side isn't really present as much as it is on the right. You could still say, of course, remove adaptive tint. Some might like it, some might dislike it. I like having adaptive tint on there because I love the contrast. All right. I would also show you guys the desert, the icy area, the volcano, all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, I have a bit of a problem in that regard. And that is that I haven't yet unlocked those areas. I have been so absorbed by doing stuff in this area. Oh, am I dead? No, I'm not. Okay. Okay, I'm not dead. So I do have another area that I want to show you guys, but since I'm so close to that thing, I will just, I will keep you guys with me. I will grab my mount. Hello, come to me. Thank you. Thank you very much. We can run over to the teleporter. Because I want to show you guys the Red Forest, or at least that's what I've been calling the place. I don't know what the place is called, but I've been calling this place right here the Red Forest. So this is the sealed realm of the Frozen Wings, which I guess is referencing Penking, which is a boss I haven't actually fought yet. He's level 15 and I'm level 26, so I think that should be pretty easy, especially since I have a lot of fire pals. Alright, once again, it looks very similar. It looks nice and contrasty. In this place, maybe the contrast could be a little bit too high, especially because the planes over here look very, very bright. And one thing that I'm a little bit worried about with this preset, and you guys can let me know if you are using this preset and, you have made it further into the game than I have. Because I haven't gotten to... I think the desert is up here, and there's a snowy area up there. I've seen one map on Reddit at some point, and I think there's a volcano down here at some point as well. But I can imagine that this looks a little bit too bloomy when you're playing in an icy area. But so far, with the areas I have access to, it looks really, really incredible. I also do want to showcase what it looks like when it's dark, because that is definitely one of the points where maybe it's not optimal. But we'll get there in just a moment. I do think I have shown everything that I want to showcase on this side of the map. Well, I do want to show some water off real quick. All right, here we go. We have some water. Let me actually go over to the beach over there. So all the settings are enabled right now. I love how this thing can double jump, by the way. It looks so funny. All right, so I do really like the look of the water with this setup. Like, that thing over there in the shade, it looks like it's barely visible. You see the guy over there, the Gumos. If I disable my adaptive tint, it will become much clearer. So it's not optimal when you're just looking at efficiency, because you might miss some things because they're obscured in the darkness, because particular areas can be more dark than maybe they should be, maybe they're designed to be. But if we're looking at just over there onto the bones of whatever a monstrosity has died here, whichever dinosaur laid its corpse in these waters, is I think it looks better, especially because, once again, there is more shadow to it. And shadow just adds definition, guys. Ask anyone, who's trying to look ripped on a photo. It's all about lighting. It's all about shadows. That's how you look ripped, guys. Fitness tips from EK. So, there you go. If you want to look ripped, play with your lighting. But, yeah, this guy looks ripped as fuck. And we have water that looks really nice as well. Anyway, where am I going with this video, guys? I have no idea. There's a chest up there as well, which I will grab. And I guess I will wait until it's dark, show you guys some darkness, and then we'll wrap up this video. Alright, so it's slowly turning dark right now. I'm actually... Oh, hello, Mount. What are you doing? Stop humping the ground. Oh, wait. Oh, the snowy stuff is over there. I can show that off too. That's really cool. Okay, so this is what the dark area looks like. And this is kind of where it really is a bit of, hit or miss. Because... yeah, when I have the light out, it still looks quite nice, It looks very immersive, it looks very dark, it looks like a proper survival game, and it makes me feel more like I'm playing the forest than Palworld. But now look at what happens when I take away the light. The game becomes so incredibly dark, and it still looks very nice and contrasty, and this honestly looks quite realistic. But this is not how you want to play. So unless you have a light source with you, you can't really play with these settings on. Now, if I disable adaptive tint, there we go. Now it's very much playable. So... depending on what you like, you could even, have adaptive tint on, blooming HDR off, but nah, that doesn't look good. So yeah, you might want to turn off adaptive tint whenever it's dark, because that might make the game look much better and much more playable. It does depend on your preference. Once again, if you do really like that whole very immersive, very dark aesthetic, like you're seeing right now, then... yeah, go for it. Also, those trees look really cool in the distance over there in the snowy area. I really want to go check that out, guys. So, I thought I was going to cut over here, but since I've apparently made it to the snowy area pretty much, I will go there and I will go check it out, and we'll, well, actually, can I just bring you guys with me? Hold on. We'll make this video longer than I anticipated, but that is fine. That is absolutely fine, because we get to explore this together now. The Frostbound Mountains. Ooh. Guys, I have a problem. I want to be... oh no, I'm cold. I don't have cold... Guys, I might have a... Oh. Okay, can I not run up there? Hello, big tree. Hello, Yggdrasil. Oh, I can walk on the side over here. I don't know where I'm going, but... I mean... At least while it is not dark out... There's a ball up there. At least while it's not dark outside, this place looks very much playable. But I don't know how I get up there. I kind of do want to see this place when it's bright now, though, so I guess I'll have to wait until it turns bright, because I don't want to have to walk back here. Also, I love to draw this, by the way, the fact that you can see the green thing, like, all the way over there in the distance. That looks really nice. Now, if I don't have a torch... Actually, not too bad. Okay, I guess I'll see you again when it's bright out, so, I'm gonna have to wait. Oh, God. Oh, this looks so bad. Like, when you're actually properly cold... Oh my god, this looks absolutely terrible. Alright, so it looks like I have apparently made it to the desert instead of the icy area, which is over there. But, I mean, this looks quite nice, right? I mean, just like all the other areas, you know, it looks very much the same, but better. Like, I keep saying that, and, you know, it doesn't really help too much. Like, I was also... Man, this video is honestly one of the messiest videos I have ever done, because I was intending for this to be a quick showcase, show off a couple things, wrap things up, publish the video, and go have dinner. But no, instead I have decided that apparently I'm gonna do a fucking world tour trying to figure out how to get to the ice area to showcase that. So yeah, just to wrap things up, because I can't keep this video going forever, guys. It's impossible. I'll have to edit this down to something even remotely watchable. So yeah, it's gonna be hell. So to summarize this, I do think it looks good, and I do intend on using it a bit more, but the problem with this is that it looks amazing during the daytime, but it can look a bit bad during nighttime, especially when there isn't a source of fire with you to make the area around you, you know, light up and look better. It can be a bit of an immersive experience, but if you are not looking for that kind of experience, then you probably want to turn it off during the night, or at least turn off the adaptive tint. And I guess you can keep the blooming HDR on, and it will look much better. So I hope I've given a bit of a showcase of my graphic settings. Yeah, I mean, I know it wasn't the kind of video that I was planning to do. I was planning on doing a much more structured video. But there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, of course, like I will have put on the screen, the preset will be down below. And if you are wondering, hey, how do I even install this in the first place? Reshade is a very common tool. So if you just Google Reshade installation guide, it's very simple. You just follow the steps in the installer. It's very simple, but if you are struggling, just look up a general guides. There are many of them out there. I used one myself years ago. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you had some sort of fun here, and have a nice day. I'll see you around soon. See you guys.